As you heard me open the segment, you heard me say that I may be the only one in Georgia who thinks positively about HOAs. I know that's not the case. There's a lot of people who do. Why in the world is there so much hate toward HOAs? What do you think causes it?
Truthfully, Cleve, I don't think there's so much. Your impression that you're the only one that likes your HOA is actually the inverse of what the situation really is.
Okay, tell me about it.
Most people do feel positive feelings about their HOAs. Okay, and of course it depends on which study you look at. Okay, Georgia has the eighth highest number of associations. There's over 11,000 HOAs in Georgia.
In Georgia, wow, 11,000.
And we're the eighth largest state. There's 2.3 million residents. So when you hear those 6 people chapping away about how angry they are, they represent a small fraction of what's really going on in the world. And so that's like 870,000 plus homes. So
Yep.
There's a lot of people that live in community associations. Most of the single family housing that's being built in this country right now is in an HOA of some type. Like maybe 75% of it is in an HOA of some type. So the numbers of HOAs relative to non-HOA properties is only going to get skewed more in the HOA direction. And in our area, it's not quite as intensive it is in some other areas, but what the counties are doing, the municipalities, is they're shifting the burden of municipal services onto associations. And it's interesting, we don't find it so much here, but not that your listeners might care, but like in New Jersey, trash collection is a very common thing to be provided by HOAs. Now, I have a few clients, we manage about 250 associations, and we have a couple of clients that contract out with the big carriers to do their neighborhood exclusively.
Yep.
But that's not the norm, where in New Jersey, it's very much the norm for the association to buy that service from a provider. The thing that's happening here, Cleve, is wastewater management. The counties are pushing wastewater management onto the associations.
And when you're saying wastewater management, do you mean sanitary sewer stuff or stormwater management?
Stormwater.
Got it.
Stormwater management, 10 feet off the curb, everything after 10 feet off the curb in terms of gullies, drains, pipes, detention or retention ponds are being pushed onto the association for long-term maintenance.
But I don't remember if you were involved with the Medlock Bridge neighborhood, and they had to spend at one point like $700,000 dredging all of the silt from their detention ponds. And what happened was, I think, the residents of the neighborhood assumed that would be the city's responsibility because the city had been newly formed. But it turns out that you are exactly right. They are trying to, and it's not just Johns Creek, it's any municipality. I just have an inside view there. They're trying to push that responsibility off on the homeowners in the neighborhood.
Fulton County started bailing out on detention pond maintenance about 1988, 1989. They started writing into covenants. The county required written into covenants that the association would handle that. And Forsyth County, I don't know how many years ago it was, but a few years ago, like maybe 12 or 15, they actually wrote ordinances, county ordinances, that pushed all of that responsibility onto the association. So, and they're big ticket items. I mean, dredging the pond at Medlock Bridge, I don't remember how many hundreds of trucks of silt we took out of there, but it was a huge, the number was in the hundreds.
And what's so interesting is when you think about it, it was really the county school system that caused most of the problem because they built a couple new schools upstream. And as I understand it, that's where a lot of the dirt came from, that the silt that filled in the ponds.
What you find is that in established neighborhoods, the siltation in their retention pond almost always comes from an adjacent property's construction.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I won't mention their name, but one large neighborhood in that same corridor that we were talking about got into a long-term lawsuit with the developer about a commercial property that the developer produced. And it took the association years to prevail in court to make the developer pay for
the damages they caused to their retention pond. Right. Such an interesting thing.